Hello everyone, my name is Jaybird and welcome back to Lucid9. Without any further ado, let's get right back to where we left off last time. Holy shit, it's getting good. And there goes the bell. Finally, gosh, I thought that class would never end. Don't forget, big test tomorrow. My class groans in unison, but I don't join them. I've accepted my fate. I'll just suck at math forever, so I might as well not study. Great, now I sound like Yama. Wait, what? Yama, big dummy, whining dummy, angsty dummy. I'm so confused. Dummy that I haven't seen since the train accident. Wait. Yeah, I'm worried. Is that pathetic? I feel like that's pathetic. After the words he said, I should be mad at him. How could he say things like that? How could he use that kind of weak spot against me? I guess this is Rui's perspective? I'm not sure. I still trust him, I guess. I can't seem to stop trusting him. Besides, if I'm honest, I said some terrible stuff too. I just want to talk it out. We haven't had an argument this bad since Miki left. I know everything will be fine if we can just talk it out. But why do I need to be the one to take the first step? Okay, I know I was insensitive, but doesn't Yama know that I just want what's best for him? He's never really been able to take care of himself. He's basically a big overgrown baby. Really attractive big overgrown baby. My cheeks still flush, remembering how he suddenly wrapped his arms around me and shielded my eyes from seeing Shoji. Whoa, okay, okay, shut up! Rui! Cut it out, that's just pathetic. Okay, good. It is Rui. Someone who I knew died right in front of me, and instead I'm just thinking about my crush. Is this what they mean by coping mechanism? Ugh, anyway, baby, Yama, baby, Yama, baby, Yama. Or is it that why Yama got so upset? Yama baby, blah 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 blah. Because I keep thinking that he needs to be taken care of? I don't know. It's been so long since we've been so distant. I don't even know what to do. Is this what twins feel like when they're separated? Lost, even if they technically have other friends, like certain meddlesome roommates whose names I won't mention, but may or may not be called Akira. But anyway, being apart is like walking without shoes or doing homework with a pen instead of a pencil. It's not seriously bad, but it's just weird, not comfortable. Maybe I should just talk to him. And from the ways things are going at this school, it's better to not live with regrets. But at the same time, can I really do it? Hey Rui! A classmate pops in front of me with a cheery wave. I totally forgot her name, but I instinctively returned her smile. Hey, what's up? We're heading to GFC. You game? My smile falters. GFC. What I wouldn't give for a trip to GFC with everyone there. Sorry, I think I'll pass. Aw, don't be a party pooper. Come on. You really can't, but thanks for the invite. You're not gonna talk to Ari Hiraga, are you? What? Where did that come from? I don't know. You used to hang out with her. I glanced in Ari's direction out of the corner of my eye. Even though school's technically ended, she's calmly sitting at her seat, munching a peach. I used to just go up and talk to her because of her quietness, how she was bullied, and how she was labeled. It really reminded me of Yama. I still should reach out to her. I still should defend her. But it just hurts. Is that why you were with me, sticking around someone you know you're better than at everything? Probably made you feel really good about yourself. It's not true. It can't be. I wouldn't have done something like that, right? Didn't some philosopher once come up with a theory that every act someone did was only done to help themselves? That there's no such thing as a real good deed? Helping elderly people is just to make yourself feel better. giving to the homeless is just to get attention. Well, with the way that some YouTubers are, yes, indeed. And they're not really they're not real homeless people. They're actors. I won't say anything more than that. Anyways, loving family is just to repay them for raising you. That, in the end, everything is selfish, and selfless love doesn't exist. No, that can't be possible. He must have just been a real moper. Rui? Huh? Oh, sorry. I just remembered that I left my laundry in the washing machine. The lie passes smoothly from my lips. What's even scarier is that I don't feel a hint of guilt. Oh, I see. That happens to me all the time. I know, right? I really should set an alarm. Well, guess we'll get going. See ya! Have a good time! The moment she exits the room, though, I instantly drop my smile. Great. Now I'm a fake, just like the rest of them. You're looking a bit under the weather. What's up? Oh. You're looking a bit under the weather. What's up? Akira suddenly leaps from beneath my desk. I smile and leap. I think it's real this time. Hey, Akira. Should I ask you why you were hiding under my desk?
Well, I tell you, but then I'd have to kill you. So, Drama Club?
I don't think so. Not today. She stares at me, not in a judging way, but definitely searching for answers.
Remember what you promised?
Yeah, but he's not even at school.
That's exactly why you should come. We're doing confidence exercises. That way, after club, you can go right to his apartment.
What? Today?
Well, no time like the present.
I can't do that. Not in our current situation.
Situation won't change unless you make it, Rui. It's a universal fact. Love.
Inertia?
Precisely. An object in motion stays in motion at the same speed and in the same direction unless it's acted upon by an unbalanced force. Currently, the object that is your and Yama's relationship is headed straight into a black hole, and where it will be crushed into tiny bits.
I create a time-space paradox that unravels the very fabric of the universe! I point dramatically to the sky. She grins in satisfaction.
Exactly. So, you should try as soon as possible.
I lower my hand. I'll try. I say this mainly to appease her. Honestly, I don't want anything to do with Yama. Not anymore. Even thinking about him hurts. Hurts to the point where I feel like I can barely breathe.
Really, it'll all be okay. You'll look back on this one day, think, ha! Well, I was as silly as a goose in a soap opera.
My throat feels sore. I want to believe her. Honest. Thanks, Angel. I don't know. Angle.
Oh, it's nothing. Agent Goose. Both silly goose and mother goose.
She squeezes my shoulder comfortingly.
I'm going to club, okay? Come when you can. Everyone misses you.
Okay. Have a great time.
As always.
She squeezes my shoulder again and disappears into the hallway. I should feel terrible for lying, but I can't bring myself to feel anything at all. I take my bag and exit the school. It feels more like something out of habit than my own conscious choice. I actually don't come to my senses until I reach the school entrance. Why am I here? There's no reason for me to leave. I live on campus. I don't have any activities and I'm not going to eat anywhere. Oh, right. The idiots and I used to hang out here, usually before a trip to GFC. But there isn't anyone now. Whoa. I turn back to the school, but a sudden movement catches the corner of my eye. Huh. What was that? I head around the corner, but there's nothing except a trash bin. Weird, I must be tired. I think about heading back to my dorm to rest, but Akira's suggestion makes me hesitant. Now that she has supplied the idea of visiting Yama today, I can't get it out of my head. It's a terrible idea. He hates me. He doesn't want to see me. He's tired of me, right? But who's reminding that idiot to pay his utility bills on time? Who's dragging his sorry butt through the school? Who's keeping him from collapsing out of exhaustion? Akira, why? Why?
Fine, I'll go. Just for a few seconds. Pop in, make sure that some nuclear disaster hasn't happened. Pop out. Easy, right? I should stop asking rhetorical questions. They tend to give me the answers that I don't want.
Oh!
Huh? I turn around, peering down the road. Just normal people, normal cars, normal houses, nothing out of the ordinary. I must just be really tired. Okay, what's going on? I try to walk closer to the street and blend into the crowd, but I swear that there's this constant shadow in the edge of my sight. No matter what way I turn, I can't seem to see it. There again! I start to pick up the pace, weaving into more populated streets. Still there. Whatever's going on, I need to get out of here. Maybe I'm just being stupid, but I swear that that shadow's actually following me. I jog back to the school, only stopping for breath, when everything seems safe. No sign of that person, whoever they were. Good. Oh. What was that? It looked like they were behind the school, but that's not possible, is it? The only entrance is the gate. How did they get in without me seeing? The figure starts running straight at me. I don't even have time to think. I immediately sprint away, heading back to the main street. If anything can protect me, this crowd can. Ah, fuck! I grind to a halt somewhere in the mass of people gathered by the crosswalk. When I glance behind me, I still see the figures hanging around the edge of the buildings. I can't even get a distinct outline, but I swear that I see two glinting eyes in the shadows, and they seem to be looking right at me. Spoopy. I shudder, pressing myself as close to the crowd as possible. Thankfully, when the stoplight turns green, the figure doesn't follow. But it's a little strange. Why does that person seem so familiar? I come to oh. Hey, it's Yama! We're Yama now. Cool. Because it's not... I dropped my pen. Oh. It's not red anymore, or pink. I come to a start with my head pounding terribly. Ugh, this must be what it's like to have a hangover. My eyes absently scan the surroundings out of habit. City, nighttime, sitting on a bench, cool breeze and clear sky and weather that I would have enjoyed in different circumstances. Ah, that's right. I lapsed. I draw out my phone, almost lazily, my brain still fuzzy as I check the time. 10 p.m. I've been out of it for how many hours? 14? The entire day gone, no record of where I went or what I've been doing. I check my bank records on my phone, nothing new. I think the shadow was Yama, by the way. Photos, notes, calendar, nothing. Pockets? Doesn't look like there's anything stolen, at least nothing super important. No messages and no calls, whether incoming or outgoing, unless they've been deleted. Is that it? Ah, wait, something in my jacket pocket. I pull out a slim phone that's cool and smooth against my palm. Right, the troublesome phone of Haru Bunya. Haru Bunya was brutally murdered. Haru Bunya, who had the latest phone model. Haru Bunya, who after being murdered somehow had his latest phone model make its way into my apartment. If this doesn't raise more than a few questions, nothing will. I don't seem to care. Why don't I seem to care? Well, I guess it's not like I'm going to get any answers by just standing around here. I should head back to my apartment, take another look, see if I missed anything, now that I'm actually thinking clearly. Almost a little too clearly, actually. But what's this? As I draw near to my apartment complex, I notice a line of police cars surrounding the entrance gate, lights flaring and sirens blaring. Oh shit. In the center of their lights stands none other than Shiguri Inamoto, deep in conference with the police officer I recognized from my little trip into the forest. As per usual, Shiguri is practically screaming her lungs out with every word. Are you not cognizant of the impetus by which I have come?
I don't know what you're saying!
Officer Kobayashi, the Bureau has contended that this student must be incarcerated under suspicion of the recent homicides.
So I am aware. I harbored my own suspicions.
And you contend that such an intellectually impaired ersatz for a humanoid sloth could possess the sophisticated genius necessary to orchestrate the mass murder of his associates?
Wait, is she talking about me? Are they talking about me? If the police are here, if the police are talking about me, they're waiting to arrest me? You know him more than I do. What is your opinion on the matter?
He was my errand boy.
You claim to be good at reading people. Are you saying that you misread the suspect? A muscle in Shigure's jaw twitches. She stuffs her hands in her pockets and mutters something that I barely catch.
I am not wrong.
Then you agree that Yama Ishimoto is the prime suspect. What? Would she... Shigure, the legitimate detective, does she believe that I'm the killer? She wouldn't, right? The emptiness in my chest promptly dissipates, replaced by pounding fear. Even if Shigure believes it, doesn't that mean that it's true?
I agree.
She agrees, I agree, the universe agrees. I tried to step back into the shadows, my feet fumbled and clutched desperately at the wall, staring blankly before me. I'm glad we're on the same page. Now, we'll submit a request to Lemniscate to track his phone.
The time such an action would take is too substantial. Barring the convict conveniently shares his location with us, the process can take up to 48 hours.
Then we better get started. He motions to several officers standing by. They gather around him in a loose circle. Ditch the phone, Yama. Wordlessly, I turn on my heels and sprint away. Ditch the phone! Ditch the phone, Yama! Ditch your phone! God! Where to? I can't even say. My shoes seem to move automatically, even as my mind stands still. Corner here, turn here, stop here. Yeah, that's right. I'm not just an ordinary high school student who woke up from an overlong nap. I'm a murder suspect, a guilty conscience, someone who holds the phone of the murder victim in his hand after the victim's death. Shigure, she's not the type to lie to protect someone. I should have expected that answer from her. Then if I accept it, shouldn't I be turning myself in? I don't know. I grind to a halt at the subway platform, sliding into the nearest bench. Alone in a crowd. Isn't that the expression? Hanging around in public is probably the worst place for me to be. As soon as they get a hold of my picture, my face will be broadcasted across the nation. Who knows, maybe it's already posted on Patter. Maybe Misaki or Yahiko have already stumbled across it and like Shigure, just like Shigure, turning one by one. Not a friend, not an errand boy, not an academy student, a murder convict. Why wouldn't they leave? Why wouldn't they all just go? Because you're not guilty. The voice is almost deafening in my head, resounding in every corner of my brain. I almost start at the sound. But what I want doesn't matter. The evidence says otherwise. Killings happening at night. The culprit, someone who knows the security procedures of the academy well. Someone who can fake sanity too well. What if, when I'm sleeping, my personality changes and I get up, sneak across town? You know that's not true. Alright, that's enough. I close my eyes and quiet my thoughts, waiting for an image to materialize. Sure enough, a familiar figure steps onto the scene. What are you doing here? I'm here to bail you out, kid. You know, last time I checked, you were supposed to be keeping me sane, not, putting voices in my head. Ha! I can only keep you sane if there's any sanity to keep, kid. Touché. You know, what you're feeling right now, that's disassociation. You're subconsciously alienating yourself from your own emotions due to anticipating future trauma. I know what disassociation is. Dissociation is. I like it. You... what? It's a painkiller. What isn't there to like? Snap out of it, kid. You can only get to the bottom of this if you just dedicate yourself to it, 100%. You can't be afraid to feel. I hope you know how cheesy you sound right now. Will it make you feel? Feel what? Exasperation? You can't give up, kid. Not now. Why not? What's there to discover? That I'm a murderer? A fugitive from justice? Look, do you honestly believe that you're the murderer? Yes. Well, clearly you actually don't, or you wouldn't have dragged me here. You've got my time for now, kid. Make it worth it. I like this. I like this so much. I start a little at the accuracy of this Ryuta. I must have spent way too much time with him. So the null hypothesis is that I'm the serial killer, and the working hypothesis is that I'm not. Good start, good start. What does that mean? It means that I just need to find evidence that I'm not the killer. But you won't settle for that, will you? You want to find out who's really behind all this. I might not even know him. You're kidding, right? There's this huge piece of evidence hanging right in front of you that... Meh, you know what? It's more fun if I just watch you figure it out on your own. Find myself becoming intrigued. How much do I know that I think I don't? Enough to solve what the police with all the resources and brainpower and authority still can't. The police are limited by a little something called bureaucracy, you know. Besides, remember your advantage. My advantage over the police? You have a core piece of evidence that they know nothing about. What might that be? Okay, we're piecing together the evidence. So, this one actually is on the guide, so I'm gonna choose the things in order. Or, no. The one thing, well... I really want to choose these to see what happens, but since this is the correct answer, I'm just going to say it, and then maybe I'll go back to see what else I'll have to say, you know. I'm going to save it, and then I'll go back to the, Can I go back, actually? Wait. Okay. Okay, whatever. I'll check it out maybe sometime maybe later. Anyways, I have Haru's phone right here with me because it was in my apartment. Bingo. The police don't have his phone in their physical possession, not like you. They don't have the same hints. Now, to be fair, they were buzzing around your apartment like vultures around a cadaver, so something definitely attracted their suspicion. But it's not like anyone else was at Haru's murder besides you and the killer. At least no one who witnessed it firsthand. Not only that, but the police didn't come into my apartment until just today. I found this phone just tucked away in my apartment. It had to have gotten there somehow. So whoever put the phone in my apartment knows the code, since there were no signs of a break-in. And? Well, you're basically saying that the killer is someone close to me because they can access my apartment. Yes, and? You don't think that it could be... Oh, I don't know. Me? Oh, really? Then how did you lure the victims out even though you weren't close to them? Or why didn't you remember taking the phone from Haru, or removing its battery, or putting it in your drawer? Balance of probability remains that you would have remembered at least one of those events. Even so, we are not seriously entertaining this Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde play, kid. You know your own medical reports. The lapses are a problem with your memory, not your behavior. It could have changed since then. Do you even know how sad it is that you're losing an argument with yourself? Just move on, kid. We've only got so much time. Even I have to admit that it's an unlikely scenario. Right, so then what? So, assuming that you're not the reason why Haru's phone is in your apartment, then how did it get there? Well, someone else had to put it there. Good. Who and why? The killer, to frame me. That would have been the only other person with access to Haru's phone before the police arrived, and the police wouldn't have planted the phone in my apartment. Hey, now we're getting somewhere. Even if you found the phone, the killer wanted to make it certain that you wouldn't know what it was for. Why did that fail? What? Well, you found it out it was Haru's phone because you turned it on. That was clearly not within the killer's plan. So he's saying that the killer didn't know about the wall charging feature, the tracking feature, the voice command feature. It is the wall charging feature. The killer might have taken out the battery, but he didn't know that I could power the phone just by plugging it into the wall charger. Which means he knows about some technology, but not all. He knew enough to take out the battery, but not enough for the latest features. Ha! Good going. You might actually solve this for real. See? You already know one thing about the killer that the police don't. Hooray, let's throw a party. Ah, suck it up, kid. There's another weird thing about Haru's case that you need to remember. Happen to know what it is? Time of death, method of death, location of death. It is the location of death. He was killed in an alley in District 6, not in the forest. Good. And? If it's a place with too many potential witnesses around. Even though the forest has police on patrol, it's not like they can secure a large portion of it, much less the entire forest. He probably knows the forest like the back of his hand. He could have easily snuck around them. Sad truth, but good. Although it would have been risky to take a screaming victim to an area swarming with personnel. Would the forest have been swarming with personnel 2 days ago? Yes. No. There was a prominent accident elsewhere. No, there was a prominent accident elsewhere. The police can't be everywhere at once. Oh? That day was also the day of Shoji Hasegawa's death, right on the subway tracks. Then I can't imagine that the group at the forest would be anything more than a skeleton crew. Well, technically those would be two entirely different divisions. One's with the violent crimes, the other is probably with civil affairs or something. Usually, yes, but it might have been reported as murder. Yahiko was arrested and interrogated for it. Did you see how easily he walked out of it? Must have been a witness interrogation, not as a suspect. Well, it's either that, or his parents were influential enough to. Okay, we're getting off topic here. Let's just settle it like this. It's likely that it was handled by the Violent Crimes Division because it involved the death of another academy student in the wake of multiple student disappearances. Furthermore, there were 3 witnesses at the scene. You, Yahiko, and Rui. And all of you are also academy students. Happy? Why didn't I think of that? You just did. So why does that matter? The forest was still a fairly viable option, and at the very least, it would be away from overly inquisitive citizens. Then why was Haru still murdered in District 6? I guess it meant that the killer wasn't entirely in charge of his circumstances. Things didn't happen according to his plan. So then the question we must ask is this. Why and how was Haru murdered? I can't answer all that. You're killing me over here, kid. Fine, I'll rephrase it. Remember how every victim previous logged in for curfew before they disappeared? Yeah? But Haru didn't. He was away from school even before curfew tolled. See something weird? Besides the obvious break-in pattern? Holy smokes, kid, the pattern is odd. Why would the killer kidnap students after curfew? Let's say I'm your everyday Joe. Well, your everyday psychopathic Joe. I need to kill a couple people here and there, and for reasons unknown, it has to be a bunch of kids at the super uptight private school. When would I choose to strike? After curfew? Tell me why that's an obvious disadvantage, ignoring the obvious security problems. It would limit the suspect pool, delay sleeping patterns, take place in a hard-to-see dark campus. Limit the suspect pool. Really? Okay. Because security locks down on the school before curfew. But after curfew, only a few people can be out and about. The suspects would be limited to students or maintenance staff like the janitor or security team. Good. Hardly ideal circumstances for a killer. So pretty safe to presume that he wouldn't act after curfew unless he absolutely needed to. Which means that Haru Banyo missing curfew was his own choice, because if the killer kidnapped him before curfew, then why didn't he do so to the other students? Unless this time was an exception. Hey, everything can be an exception. You'll never get a working theory that way. Now, let's think about this. Haru skips curfew while the killer is confined. Night falls. Unlike the other victims, Haru is out of school, but still ends up being killed. He probably thought that he would be safer if he wasn't confined to curfew. Oh, no, you didn't think that. You think he went to look for the killer. There's no proof of that. I wouldn't say that. It's easy enough to stay safe in public. 24-hour fast food restaurants with CCTVs, public hospitals, even the police department, for crying out loud. The killer might know the school's security system like the back of his hand, but he can't control all of Isamu. And Haru didn't seem like the stupid type. Just so. Coincidence? Probably not. Good boy. But if that's the case, why wouldn't he tell anyone his suspicions? You tell me. Because he didn't have any. He was just gonna tail the first guy who left school. And on that note, why didn't he notify the police if he was gonna take such a risky action? Why wouldn't he notify the police? Why wouldn't he, indeed? This is what you want me to feel. Correction, this is what you want you to feel. Because I have to understand what Haru is thinking. You only don't understand Haru because you're distancing. You only don't understand Haru because you're distancing yourself too much. It's time to get real, kid. Check the phone of yours. Check my phone? I stumble out of my concentration in a disoriented mess. Actually, I'm gonna save it like right here.
My hand's getting all sweaty.
Ooh. Still in the subway, which is now completely empty. How long have I been thinking? I peer around the abandoned platform, nothing but the soft flickering of dim lights. Well, I guess it makes sense. This isn't exactly a major station. A dull vibration in the pocket of my pants redirects my attention. Ah, that's right, my phone must have been vibrating all this time. From Shigure, probably, to lure me someplace or another, or some teacher to warn me on my absence. Maybe even a friend who's wondering where I've been. It probably was vibrating from the moment I entered the subway, vibrating incessantly. Commotion. I tend to shut it out when I'm overwhelmed, distancing myself from reality, as Mr. Ryuta would call it. Childhood trauma. Learned behavior. Coping mechanism. One moment, the world is there, and the next, it's just me alone with the figureheads inside my brain. Can you please answer your fucking phone? It's starting annoying me. A caricature of Mr. Ryuta to help me think better. Or a caricature of Rui to stabilize my emotions. Such extremes. Can you please answer your phone? It's starting to annoy me. Oh my god. Such extremes haven't been necessary for years. After all, what excitement happens in high school? Gossip. Relationships? Bullying? But now I'm distant. I feel it in myself. Something hollow, cold. Something that apparently couldn't even notice the vibrations of my own phone. Can you please answer your fucking phone? It's starting to annoy me. Well, guess I eventually noticed. I humor myself and scroll through the notifications. Daily mundane life, I expect. Oh, finally. God, that was fucking annoying.
Sarge. Hate to disturb your 1,000-year slumber, but have you seen your destined princess?
Can I scroll up? Nope. Oh, God, no! Oh, no! Oh, no! Rui's missing! No! Dude, have you seen Rui?
Is Rui with you?
Ruri MIA after school. Respond ASAP. Ruri is missing. Oh god, what is going on here? Ooh, I'm gonna take a screenshot because it looks neat. I know it's just negative of the thing we just saw earlier, but I like it. I like it a lot. It reminds me of death, my favorite subject.
Ow! Ow!
This is so good. I love this game so much.
And it's great for spoop season!
Ruri is missing. I don't even realize it, but my fingers weaken and my phone slides through the spaces between my knuckles and turns end over end. Clatters to the ground, the shrill impact of a fine glass against concrete echoing down the hollow, utterly abandoned passage in which I sit. Ruri, missing. Ruri is missing. It starts out as a disappearance. 3 times, a disappearance from school, a mysterious vanishing after a locked curfew. No one can find them. No one can contact them. Phones are tracked and found at garbage disposals. CCTV footage turns up, corrupted or deleted or looped. Then the bodies are found, peeled, sliced, ripped apart. The mutilated remains of what was once a human being. What if one of those bodies, one of those victims, someone who gave terrible, rending screams that only went unheard, was Ruri. Waking up in the cold dark, greeted by a pale, croaking voice, seeing nothing but the sheen of a blade in the moonlight, something that saws through flesh. I force a shaky breath into my lungs as my chest constricts, the world pulses. Ruri's the next victim. An afternoon disappearance, another break in the pattern. One more shaky breath, my vision spins. Ruri is with the killer, with someone whose mask is perfect, who disappears without a trace, who eludes the police without effort, like everything is just a game. Someone who isn't caught by an army of highly trained officers of law enforcement. Someone whom I could never dream of catching. Ruri is going to die, and there's nothing I can do about it. I'm just a 17-year-old kid, hiding in the subway like a homeless beggar, a refugee from police custody. Ruri's smile, her teasing, her nagging, gone, just like that. Another figure who entered my life only to leave me, violently ripped away before her time. Another person who deserved to live so much longer.
Pull yourself together! Oh, pull yourself together. Moping around doesn't help anyone. If you want to be useful, then be useful.
Lizzie. Figures I'd see you. You like to challenge me. Guess this time wouldn't be any different. So, things aren't hopeless? What amazing advice do you have for me? This comes almost mockingly. A crushing weight has filled the space that was once empty and shock. I have nothing left but sarcasm and cynicism. Oh, fuck! In response, Elizabeth's image flickers into Miss Ryuta. There's still a key that you have to remember about Haru's case. A key? Recall it. How did you stumble on the killer in the first place? Haru sent me a location ping. It's only after the sentence spills out with too much ease that I realize it's an irregularity. Haru sent me a location ping? We're not even close. Not only that, but there was barely any time between the location ping and his death. So somehow, in his last moments, just before he died, he decided to send a location ping to me? I fervently racked my brain for an answer. Would Haru really do that? Would he really put the fate of his life on me? I scanned through the flow charts of known ways people socialize in my head, but it turns up blank. My brain is freezing. I can't see beyond the mental image of stumbling on Ruri's body, cold and bloody, mouth open in the last remnants of a scream. No, Haru, location ping. Why would he send it? Why would... Blood, terror, the crushing force of water. No, stop! Must think... I forced all of the habits from excessive therapy sessions into practice. Deep breaths, tall spine, tense all muscles, and relax slowly from top to bottom. Her life is at stake. Ruri could die at any minute. Maybe she already has. Or maybe she's cramped up in whatever sick place the cycle has, waiting and dreading the moment when nothing will be on her mind but excruciating pain. Damn it! Mr. Ryota bleeds into Elizabeth, flickers for a moment, and then bleeds into Misaki. Yama, I can't do this anymore. Miki, please, just leave me alone. I know this is hard, but right now you're the one with the best chance at finding the killer. Because of this damn phone. You know what? Fine. I can't handle this on my own. I'm giving it to the police. Won't they just arrest you? Yeah, but they'll find out that I'm not the real killer. But they have to trust your word that someone else put that phone in your apartment rather than taking it from Haru himself. It could take days, maybe weeks, to clear the situation, even if you are eventually found innocent. By that time, Rui will be dead. Miki, please, help me. Rui, don't you love Rui? She needs us. In that case, do you remember whether someone sent you an out-of-place location ping? I received and sent too many damn location pings to keep track of. Maybe you can narrow it down. Or maybe you can start using your head. Before Haru Banya, was there anyone else who accidentally sent you a location ping? Actually, now that she mentions it, I remember something. A location ping from Miki? Did we arrange something? I don't recall any recent conversations with her. Yeah, it was you, actually. You sent me a location ping by accident. Oh, look at this red background. I like it. I'm gonna take a screenshot because I might not see it ever again. And that will make me sad. That will make me sad! Woo! This game is so good. I love it. I love it. I love this game. I love this game. Woo. You mistapped because my name was right under... Wait. Mistapped because my name and his name are right next to each other. Yahiko Ikari? When I think about it, everything fits too well. Yahiko Ikari. Whoa! He started the Happy Club and is connected with 3 recent deaths. Akane, Shoji, and Haru. And before that, he also knew Midori and Toma. And he would know a lot about the Academy's security and technology. Maybe even more than the average faculty member, being the son of higher-ups at Lemniscape. And I've seen how, in the blink of an eye, he can shift from joy to depression, almost as if he has perfect control over how he wants his emotions to be seen. And he knows me. Knows the code to my apartment, knows my schedule, knows my actions and my reactions. And he was there. At the murder of Haru, Yahiko Ikari was there. He had coincidentally run into me, seemed flabbergasted that I was there, so kindly offered to cover for me. Yahiko Ikari, my former roommate, my friend. Well, isn't that just so damn typical? The serial killer can't just be some random chump off the street. No, he has to be someone close to me. Ugh! But as my fury intensifies, as black anger, nausea, everything solidifies the blood in my body, Misaki's image fizzles into Masato. What kind of friend are you, man? You know it ain't Yahiko. You've known him for 2 years. I spit bitterly. Yeah, give me some proof. I'd love to believe it. For starters, you got no proof that some big shot organization just hacked out your lock. Might be tough to break for one person, but ain't even a sneeze for a team of pros. So you're saying that the serial killer could actually be an organization, and they decided to frame me when I caught one of their members killing Haru in District 6? Yeah, something like that. Then something doesn't make sense. If the killer or organization, whatever, weren't close to me, it's weird that I'm still alive. It's weird that I'm still alive. Yeah! This is the correct answer, by the way. I'm looking at a guide, okay? Shut up. It's weird because I'm still alive. Why wouldn't they just kill me? Witness to the crime scene, but out by myself in District 6. They wanted to frame you, man. Framing someone who's alive does a whole lot more than framing someone who's dead. Especially if he can't really defend himself. But that's the thing. How could they know that I couldn't defend myself? Huh? The only people who could possibly know about my lapses are ones who are close to me. Really close. Rui and Masaki for sure, and maybe you and Yahiko. Which means that the killer could have been one of those 4 people. It can't be Rui, it can't be Masaki, and well, I'm pretty sure it can't be you either. But you don't think that way for Yahiko? You want me to list the evidence alphabetically or chronologically? I can't believe it, but Yahiko actually fits. Let me ask you one more thing, man. Do you really think that Yahiko's the serial killer? I just told you that. Do ya really believe, like ya believe the sun will rise every morning and I'll badger you into track every day that Yahiko's the man? No, I don't. I honestly don't. Everything goes against him, but for some reason I just can't imagine that Yahiko would be the serial killer. But isn't that shallow-minded? Isn't that foolish? Couldn't my reluctance lead to Rui's death? Alright then. Masato's image fizzles into Akira, who jabs in its energetic finger in my direction.
Hey-o, cheerio. Time to think of this from another angle. We got ourselves some tricks up our metaphorical sleeves, Sarge, so don't give up yet.
Yeah, no offense, but you're not exactly the person I want for logical thinking.
Oh, but what you need and what you want are 2 completely different things. Like dying versus not dying.
Well, what do you suggest?
Well, you have a suspect now, right? Don't flip the turtles out before you've proved whether he's guilty or innocent. That's like counting your chickens before the avian flu strikes and wipes them all off the face of the planet.
So find proof of Yahiko's innocence? Easier said than done. Much easier said than done.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, Sarge. You've got some things doing in that brain of yours.
Such as? Akira suddenly morphs into Masaki. Don't you remember how the killer forgot about the phone's wall charging feature? Yahiko loves technology as much as I do, not to mention that his parents work at Lemniscate. If he were the killer, do you really think he would have forgotten something so simple? That's, well, right, but by itself it's pretty weak. Misaki fizzles out, allowing Elizabeth to take center stage. And think, what does Haru's mishap really imply? Remember, in his panicked last moments, he was attempting to send a location ping to Yahiko, but his finger slipped on you instead. Oh, of course. Why didn't I see that before? Haru was trying to send a location ping to Yahiko too. Bait him, distract him, get help. Get help. Yeah, this is the correct answer. Haru wanted to let Yahiko know that he was in danger. If Yahiko saw that he was in District 6, well, I think that even Yahiko would know that something was wrong. Correct. Also, Haru must have eventually been able to get a signal through, because he showed up, even if it was after me. Not only that, but he had already called the police. I'm trying to help you out, dude. You have to get out of here, now. Why would I... Go! Leave! Which means that your entire basis for suspecting Yahiko Akari is now null and void. A little part of me relaxes before I realize that this doesn't actually solve anything. Rui's gone and I'm nowhere closer to discovering the killer than I was before I started thinking. Rui is still in danger. I'm still a runaway convict. The serial killer is still running amok, having his little grim parties. Is there nothing I can do? Nothing? Wait 1 moment. Think. Why did Haru not notify the police before he began tailing the killer? Like me, he is a capable individual. We don't just miss such things. Why indeed? Why wouldn't Haru have requested backup, or at least given an anonymous tip? He lost access to his phone, he didn't want to alert the killer, he doesn't trust the police. He doesn't trust the police. He didn't alert the police because he didn't trust them. Didn't trust them? Why? A personal traumatic encounter? Previous difficulties in dealing with law enforcement? Or could it be something else? Could it be that Haru saw something in the police, something that he never could forget? You know him more than I do. What is your opinion on the matter?
He was my errand boy.
You claim to be good at reading people. Are you saying that you misread the suspect?
I am not wrong.
Then you agree that Yama Ishimoto is the prime suspect.
I agree.
Could Haru have seen corruption? Hey, this is so pretty. I love it.
I'm gonna take another screenshot because yay! I love it. It's my favorite.
I love how I'm just taking screenshots of random shit. It's like the best thing ever, right?
Oh fuck, I was about to do it and I hate my fucking computer sometimes. It's just like, I misclicked.
Okay, perfect. Could Haru have seen corruption? Why is it that a student was the first one to think of camping outside the school and tailing the serial killer? Why is it that the investigation force didn't even go through the school, scouring the area for any evidence on the killer? Why is it that no city CCTV ever turned up with any results? What if all this time, sitting behind the curtain, watching us dance, the police was just there, laughing, watching us run in fear as they pretend that they're trying to protect us? And that would mean Haru died for nothing. Yahiko called for nothing. And now Rui will disappear, will be shredded to pieces, will be left to rot for nothing. And there's nothing, not one damn thing that I can do. Catch the killer, find the evidence, package him up and ship him to the police department, and he'll just walk free because it was all part of the plan. Or worse yet, they won't even catch him. They'll have him surrounded and he'll miraculously break free, and they'll give chase like a bunch of fools. And Rui will die for nothing. Rui, with her fiery passion and her love and her endless enthusiasm for her dear ones, will pass into the fate of nihilism. Where there is no intrinsic value, no purpose, no beneficial weight to her sacrifice for me. She'll be remembered, maybe by a memorial for victims who were the targets of a horrifying serial killer who will maybe one day be brought to justice. Fuck. That would be her only identity. A murder victim, a girl who had her whole life ahead of her. One more poor soul in the annals of injustice. Annals. No one would know her smile, or her little quips, or the way she bit her lip when she was nervous about something. No, the name Rui Hayata would only bring nods of pity and despondent sighs, and if she's really lucky, feel for a movement for treatment of mental illness or weapon control or some other political objective. And then, as days pass on, as time becomes months and years and decades, she'll be forgotten forever. Drowned out in the names of other victims who will be remembered with nothing but nods of pity and despondent sighs. Nothing but non-existence. Finally. Ari suddenly appears and stares at me with such intensity that I swear she's almost real.
Do not lose focus.
Her image blurs at the edges, rounding out, hair turning orange, and... oh, it is.
Gosh, you're a wreck. What happened?
I open my mouth. A feeble, unintelligible noise bleeds out.
You tried to do that. You tried to do too much, Yama. That's the problem. You want to do everything, but everything becomes so overwhelming that you just end up doing nothing. You can only do what you can. The rest is out of your hands.
I can only do what I can.
Yeah, and right now, all you can do is figure out who the killer is. You're up for that much, right? So, you're stuck because you think the killer has to be you, me, Yahiko, or Masato, right?
I guess. My voice comes out very small. I squash the temptation to reach out, touch her jacket, her hair, anything. Because right now, she's not real. Right now, she might even be.
Are you paying attention?
No.
Wow, I think I finally know what it's like to be one of your teachers.
I cough out a cross between a chuckle and a snort. It's so close to reality, but it's not. Then, oh, all-knowing teacher, what do you have to say?
Well, your passcode is literally so stupid that anyone who saw it just once could get in.
But that's not the problem. The problem is that the killer knows about my lapses. No, wait. There's something strikingly familiar about what she said. Didn't she mention this before? Didn't she say something like this before? There's something vitally important about that statement. Your passcode is literally so stupid that anyone who saw it just once could get in. What sticks out so much? Anyone, your passcode? Just once. Just once. This is it. Just once.
Achievement unlocked!
The clock is ticking. Oh no! Oh shit! I'm gonna save it here. This music, though. She'd been talking about someone who had seen my code just once. Someone who commented on how stupid it was.
Please, your code's the stupidest possible code to exist on the planet. Even Mr. Ryota pointed out how stupid it was.
Ryuda. A man who helped me move into my apartment, who commented on how stupid the code was, who certainly would have remembered it. A man who knew all of the victims, because they each were fighting psychological problems, and he was the school counselor. A man who would know the security of the school inside and out, yet would not be up to date with the latest features of smartphones, like a wall charger. A man who was strong enough to inflict the same wounds as the serial killer, smart enough to outmaneuver the police, controlled enough to fake sanity in the day. A man who, after curfew, is free from his duties. And a man who would approach me after seeing me at Haru's murder site, surprised that I didn't seem to remember what had happened. A man who would certainly be curious at my unusual reaction. A man who could access the confidential school records and learn about my lapses from there. A man who I trusted. Trusted too much. Why? It's not you. There's something I must have missed. A proof, a theory, anything. Why did it have to be you? You damn old geezer, why would you even... Why? Nothing but silence. The silence of finality, of a door that's been opened and can never be closed. All tension leaves my body. I can vaguely feel myself slumping on the subway bench, neck uncomfortably stretched to accommodate the weight of my head. Mr. Ryuda, my mentor, my friend, and the serial killer. You're really different today, Yama. What's bothering you? Back then, I should have seen it. Because why hadn't anyone else noticed? Why was Mr. Ryuda the only one who thought something had happened that night? Who, me? Nah, I'm pretty much a free bird after I verify curfew. I had my suspicions. I'd known that there was something odd about him, but I didn't want there to be. I wanted to wave it away. I wanted to trust Mr. Ryota. I wanted just one person who would understand everything and stay on my side. Well, there's no explicit rule saying I can't use the confidential databases. I'm pretty sure that there is. Nope, I may be faculty, but I'm not a teacher. It's only stated that the teachers have to request special permission. I checked the loopholes. Right. You know how the entry student application to the academy requires a psychological analysis by a qualified physician, yes? Yeah, another security measure, isn't it? Let me read this and see what you think. He knew about my lapses. Not because I told him, but because he had access to the psychological overviews of each student. He would have known each of the victims. Maybe they were assigned to his counseling care, just like I was. Gah, I hate computers. But we'd all be dead without them. You know what was great? My desktop iPair, man, that was great. Stable, awesome, and a killer whirl of the fan. You guys don't know how satisfying it is to hear your computer work to keep itself cool. That's kind of weird. No casual user has desktops anymore. Oh, and Nikon phones, man. Phones these days break if you breathe on them wrong. Icon phones? They could probably survive a nuclear blast. Yeah, Nokia phones, yeah. Ah, there we go, finally working. And he knew about computers. Not an avid follower of electronics. Not enough to know about weed, but enough to know about phone batteries. Instead of detention, the teacher's convinced that I need a more permanent solution. Like death, I can help you with that. So, how's the apartment? Still in one piece mostly. Good to hear. And Phil? Phil? The little houseplant. The one I placed on your shelf. Your memory sucks more than mine, kid. Wow, how do you have this much free time? Life as a dorm manager's just swell, isn't it? Like die-cut pieces of a complex puzzle, all the facts and memories line up in perfect succession. The killer is Mr. Ryota. Now I know it with certainty, intrinsically, just like I know I can sit on a chair and that it'll support my weight, or I can walk under a bridge and it won't fall on top of me. I just don't know what to do next. Shouldn't there be a sense of triumph? A miniature party in the back of my head giving me a cookie for successfully finding out the killer? Something keeping me going, something propelling me to the next step. I know the identity of the killer. Shouldn't I report this? But to whom? I'm on the run from the police, who may or may not be corrupt. I can hardly show my face at school, and if I called Mr. Ryota, well, that simply wouldn't do anything. For the most part, it feels like I should just give up. There's nothing further to head to, no way out of the conundrum I've worked myself into. The situation requires me to be clever, more clever than I can be. I want to think myself out, find some magical solution, but sometimes it's just not there. Reaching into an empty bag and expecting handfuls of gold. Then, is this it? Ah, someone's calling me. Alright, I'm gonna end it here. Holy fuck, I'm gonna end this episode here on this annoying phone call sound. But anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for this episode of Lucid9. If you guys enjoyed this episode and you want to see more, leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't, ring that notification bell, and remember, die safely. Bye-bye!